Well, good morning, everyone, and it's almost Christmas. But anyway, here in Bronie's world, at Bronie's desk, I have our absolutely glorious friend, the wonderful pharmacist Ben, who sadly this time of the year, because of us on daylight savings and him not, our time with him is much shorter. So with no further ado, I've sent Ben through some things that people want to ask. Want him to speak on. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Ben, because your time is limited and I don't want to waste any more of your time. And thank you for coming.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for having me. So which one do you want to do first, Bronie?
Well,
the kid first or Karen's question first?
We'll do Gracie's friends, the kid first, because she's asked me that a little while ago now. And
is this a friend of hers, or how do they know? Do they know the person?
The lady was going to be on, but I don't know the lady's name. So it could be one of our newer people. So
it could be one of our newer, like, longevity people.
No, she's one of Gracie's clients. So I'm not sure if it's not Joanne. Is it? I'm not sure if it's Frances.
It's not me. It's not me. I've got. I don't know who this other person is at all.
So. Anyway,
okay. All right. So let's get going. Let's start rock and rolling here. Okay. So you want to read the question? Want me to read the question? So
no, I'll let you read it. I'll let you read it.
All right. Let me find where I think I just lost you. Okay, good. All right. So, this is my question. Heads up for Ben. Bruno, 8-year-old boy, late December 2023, unwell with fever and sore bottom. I don't know if that means sore bottom, but I imagine that the anus part of the bottom, or
I'd imagine, yeah.
Okay. Sore bottom, January 24th, 6 peri-anal abscess. Okay, discovered. He had surgery to drain the abscess. Okay, typical doctor, Australian doctor way of handling things. June 2024, another abscess in the same spot. Antibiotics started. Abscess erupted on its own. Investigation, surgery. He doesn't need surgery. Was inserted due to fistula. Okay. So first of all, he's 8-year-old boy. That's good and that's bad. It's bad because he's way too young for all this stuff. It's good because when you're 8 years old, there's not a lot of things that can go wrong. You don't have a history of degeneration. So it's only going to be a few things. Now, he has cold sores. That tells us there's some immune problems. An abscess is very often caused by bacteria and mucus. So there's chances, this sounds like a bacterial issue to me. So what you want to do here is you want to look for what we call in the business comorbidities, other things going wrong. And I know I say this every time practically, but I'll say it again. If you have a painting and you have a canvas and it's a white canvas and you have a dot in the middle, that's just a dot in the middle. If you have 2 dots in the middle, that's just 2 dots in the middle. But if you have a 3rd dot, you can start to see a picture emerge. And then a 4th and a 5th and a 6th. The more data points, sample points you have, the more clearer the picture will be that emerges. And this is what you have to look for here. Right now, we've got some ideas that there's some infectious material going on between the abscess and the cold sores. That's all I have to go on, though. So what I want to know is what else is going on with the child. I can predict that there's going to be some digestive stuff because that's what it usually is, which means that's where you're going to want to focus. And I can say predict because that's just the way the body works. That's the only place it can get attacked. Can't get attacked from the outside in for the most part. Yeah, it's conceivable he could have a spider bite or he could touch something, but for the most part, it's going to be coming in through the blood and the intestine, especially considering it's getting excreted out of the body. So you're looking more than likely at a digestive health issue, which is not uncommon, especially considering how we eat just around the world, or just in the United States, but especially in your country and in other countries around the world. Chances are good that's where your problem is going to be. I'd want to ask the parent or the whoever's taking care of the kid. I'd want to ask about asthma, ear infections, eye infections, fatigue, skin rashes, all of these kinds of things. I don't have enough information to go on here, but I'd have to guess. I'd say he's dealing with some kind of intestinal issue. The problem in naturopathy, where you see the problem is not where the problem begins. Where you see the problem is not where the problem begins. You got to go upstream. And that means typically, especially for an 8-year-old kid, it's going to be in the digestive system. I don't have enough information to go on here.
Gracie's just come on.
Hi, Grace.
And she may
be.
Hi,
Gracie.
Oh, hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm good. I like your hair. Did you do something different?
Thank you. I just had the regrowth done last night. Bit bright until I wash it.
I like it. It looks good. It looks good.
Thank you.
So,
Well,
do
I
you
don't
know,
know whether your friend's on that.
know this person? Do you know this person?
Is that one with the child? Yeah, it's actually my cousin, and it's her son.
Okay.
So it's 2 years ago. He's had
So
this
you know
problem
the kid.
2 years.
You know the kid pretty well.
I haven't seen him.
What else is going on? What else is going on aside from an anal abscess? What else is going on? There's other things going on. Nobody just has an anal abscess. You've got to have other things, and most likely it's going to be through food. Do you know anything? Do you, Gracie?
Look, I do know. Look, he eats pretty well. He eats.
No.
His bread and butter.
Never, ever. Hang on, Gracie. Gracie. Hold on. Never, ever say he eats pretty well. Never say he eats really well. He eats a healthy diet. None of that. Ever say that. I'm not telling you to me. I'm just saying in general.
No.
That puts you in the.
There's something happening.
Good. Yeah, he eats pretty well. Doesn't count because people could have a reaction to asparagus, and that's pretty well. So it doesn't matter. What else does he have going on, comorbidity wise? Rashes, ear infections, asthma, fatigue, sleep problems, eye issues. What else is going on? That's the key, because then you can put together a picture. Right now, I only got one dot on my canvas. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a picture. If I had to guess, and sometimes you have to guess, I'd be working with his digestive system because that's a good guess. But I'd like some more information. So if it's your cousin, I'm happy to work with him. If you want to have them call me, or if you want to have them come on next, and that's going to be a month before we have another call. But if you don't want to wait, we'll do a three-way. I'm happy to do that. But
that'll
you need
be lovely.
to probe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just so you know, though, because I'm not a genius here. You could do the same thing. Just you want to probe. You want to get other things so you can form a picture of what's happening.
Look, I can probe in the fact that in regards to digestion, I don't. That's not 100%.
For skin issues would be a clue. Ear infections
eczema.
would be a clue.
Okay.
Yeah, eczema, asthma, breathing problems, sleep problems. These are all clues. But you can pretty much rest assured it's going to be something to do with the digestive system. Why? Because that's the only way things get into the blood.
Yeah.
He's not injecting, right? So if things go into the blood, that's through food. And that's why. It's not because, I hope you understand this, everybody who's listening. I'm not a food guy. I'm not Mr. Food Man. I'm not David Avocado Wolf. Eat your veggies. That's not me. But I'm just saying it goes into the bloodstream. And that's the only way things go into the bloodstream. And everything is about the blood. You can't have a systemic, an internal systemic issue without a blood problem. That's the only way things get distributed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It always has to be about the blood. And the blood can only get contaminated or affected through food or through injection. He's not injecting, obviously, so it has to be food, and that's where I'd be working.
Thank you. Okay.
And if you want some quick supplemental recommendations, probiotics.
We're just starting that. Yes. Yep.
Get him started on probiotics. And if you can how are his bowel, you probably don't know, but ask him about how his bowel movements are. If they're loose and diarrhea, kind of like loose stools kind of thing, that's a major indicator for malabsorption through the stomach or the intestine. And that's another issue because that could imply intestinal inflammation, which is not uncommon. Okay, if there's some intestinal inflammation issues, then we got to work that way. So see what the stools are like. The frequency of the bowel movements, if he's constipated perhaps, or if he's the opposite, if it's very frequent, and then look for comorbidities. But if you want to start off right away, work on intestinal health.
Yes, I'm doing that. Yeah, lovely. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we'll get back to you, Ben, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That'll be great.
100%.
Thank you.
100%. Thank you, Gracie.
Thank you. Bronie, there might be a couple of others on the call that might have a question as well, if they're happy to ask. So I'll just mute myself for now.
We're going to deal with Karen's first. And
thank you.
I've seen a couple of your other ladies here. So
lovely.
Thank you.
Deal with Karen's subject first.
Thank you, Grace.
Okay.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you.
Ronnie, you didn't say anything about my green and red, by the way. Christmas. Green and red.
Because you didn't say anything about my Christmas hat.
Oh my gosh, you have a Christmas hat. You're an elf. You're a Christmas elf.
No, this is not my elf hat. This is my...
You're one of Santa's helpers, no?
No, I'm Mrs. Claus, right?
Mrs. Claus. Okay.
I have an elf hat. Look, I do have a little elf.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Did you ever see the movie? Have you seen the movie Elf?
Yes, I
It's
have.
an American. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, good. All right.
More than one. Okay, well, we're going to go on to Gracie, to Karen's fibre question. Is there good and bad fibre? If so, how do we know what the difference is? If people react to a fibre and are drinking lots of water, does that?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by good and bad fiber? First of all, what is fiber? I'm not really sure what you mean by good and bad fiber, but what is fiber exactly?
Or something we all need to have in our diet, right?
We need it. I know, but what is it? A fiber is an undigestible, non-digestible carbohydrate. But the main point is that it's non-digestible. It doesn't matter. Well, it matters that it's carbohydrate too. But the point is it's non-digestible. So its properties are mechanical. The two kinds of fibers are the kind that dissolve in water. We say it's soluble. That's the term. Or that does not dissolve in water. That's insoluble. Soluble fiber dissolves. It's mushy, like a pear or apple has a mushy quality to it. That mushy quality is a combination of the fiber and the water. It gives a mushy quality. Then there's insoluble water. It does not dissolve in water. That's like a wire. Like if you look at a celery stalk, it has little wires or not like little threads. Yeah. That's insoluble fiber. And that has its own properties. Soluble fiber, like mushy fiber, forms a gel, like a mushy gel, and that's going to slow down digestion for people who have diarrhea, for example. You may have heard of the BRAT diet: bananas, rice, applesauce, tapioca. Have you heard of the BRAT diet? They give to kids who have diarrhea. And here in the United States, they call it the BRAT diet, and they give it to kids who have diarrhea because it absorbs water, so it slows down the digestive process for folks who have diarrhea. It also lowers cholesterol and blood sugar, soluble fiber. It also acts as a source of food for bacteria in the intestine. This can be good and bad. If you have bacteria in the large intestine, you're healthy and everything's good and everything's working, that's good. But if you have bacteria that have translocated, they moved into the small intestine, now you got a problem. Because now that fiber is going to feed those bacteria in the small intestine, and you can end up with a condition called bacterial overgrowth, which can lead to gas and bloating and leaky gut and a whole range of immune problems. So soluble fiber can be a problem. You've heard of the FODMAPs diet, probably. Yeah. The FODMAPs diet is a soluble fiber diet or a low soluble fiber diet. Insoluble fiber does not dissolve in water, and it adds bulk to the stool so that if you're constipated, it'll fill out the stool a little bit so it passes through. There's an old saying, the larger the stools, the smaller the hospitals. So insoluble fiber helps you eliminate. Soluble fiber slows things down. Insoluble fiber speeds things up. So if you're constipated, insoluble fiber, Metamucil. I don't know if you ever heard of Metamucil. They have that here in this country, Metamucil. Yeah, fiber, psyllium fiber will speed everything through the digestive tract. So for folks who are constipated, it's in bran, in vegetables, particularly hard vegetables like broccoli stalks. You can actually see the soluble fiber in broccoli stalks as opposed to the mushy fiber in pears and apples. Can you get a picture of that? The mushy fiber versus the soluble fiber. Okay, so when you say, are there good and bad forms of fiber? No, there's no good and bad forms of fiber. Fiber is just is just undigestible carbohydrate. Some of the undigestible carbohydrate is soluble. Some of it is insoluble. There's no good and bad, though. Fiber is just fiber. Okay, so the distinction is soluble versus insoluble. Was there a question?
And if people react to a fiber and are drinking lots of water, what does that mean?
What do you mean by reacting to a fiber? What does that mean?
Well, the two issues you sort of talked about, they're either very constipated or diarrhea, and if they're drinking lots of water, doesn't mean they have gut issues. So if they're having issues with the fiber intake,
I see. If they eat fiber and then they bloat or something like that, they get gassy.
Yeah. Karen, look, Karen's there.
Oh, Karen. Is Karen asking that?
Yeah.
Karen, it is, if I can find it to bring her up.
So just so I'm clear, you're asking, wait on here. You're asking if you have, if you bloat or you're gassy after you ingest fiber. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Correct.
It's very, very common. That's a sign that you have bacteria in the small intestine. You have two intestines. The small intestine is where food is absorbed or nutrients are absorbed for food. The large intestine, some nutrients are absorbed, but for the most part, the large intestine is where water is sucked out of that mass of the stuff that's going through the digestive tract, and you have a stool. Some people, because of fluoride in the water, chlorine in the water, antibiotics, the wrong kinds of food, preservatives, some people will have bacteria that translocate to the small intestine from the large intestine. And if that's the case, every time you eat fiber, you're going to be feeding those bacteria. And those bacteria are going to produce gases. That's what bacteria do. They produce gases. And you're going to feel uncomfortable. Bloaty, gassy, distension, stomach distension, anything you could think of that's uncomfortable, cramps, uncomfortable intestine. That's a sign that you're dealing with bacterial overgrowth. If you eat fiber or fibery food and you bloat, chances are good you're dealing with bacterial overgrowth. And that can be a very big problem because once you have bacterial overgrowth, you can get inflammation in the intestine. That's where leaky gut comes from. And then you're off to the disease races. So if that's the case, what you want to do is a couple things. Before you do the fiber, don't go into fiber yet because you're going to feed those bacteria. You want to do things that kill off the bacteria, such as
I-26.
I know, I-26. You can't see it, unfortunately. Yes, this stuff right here.
Yeah, but we have it in
I-26.
capsule.
Okay. Yes. You can also use essential oils.
Juice.
You can also, yes, I-26 is the best. You can also use essential oils. Neem oil, oregano oil, peppermint oil. And Kevin can help you with that. Your brother Kevin can help you with that. He knows, I'm sure. I don't know if he's on the call, but I know he knows all the essential oils that will kill off bacteria as well. I like oregano oil, but there's a few of them. And then after that, then you start introducing fiber slowly, not all at once. So maybe a gram, fifth of a teaspoonful. Then the next day or 2 days or 3 days, 2 grams. And then gradually introduce fiber back into your diet. Okay? And the same is true about probiotics. Sometimes people, when they take probiotics, will actually bloat. And they'll feel gassy. And they'll feel uncomfortable. And they'll say, why should I feel uncomfortable? I just did probiotics. The reason is because if you have this bacterial overgrowth condition, your probiotics are going to add to the bacterial load. So probiotics and fiber, if you notice that you're uncomfortable after you do those, you want to consider that to be a bacterial overgrowth condition. Kill off the bacteria, reintroduce the fiber and the probiotics slowly. Make sense?
I had a feeling you were going to say that. And the reason I asked is because I have a few people doing our longevity, I don't know if you know much about it, the GLP system for the weight loss.
Yeah,
and
I think there's fiber in that. There's fiber in there, isn't there?
Well, it's prebiotic fiber, and a lot of them are bloating with it.
Look at the ingredients on the prebiotic fiber.
Yeah.
What are the ingredients? Bronnie, read the ingredients on the prebiotic fiber.
Come on, it's too small.
I've got it here.
Inulin, yes. What else? Acacia fiber. Those are soluble. Those are soluble fibers. Absolutely.
And beet fiber. Yeah,
and beet fiber too. Those are all soluble fibers.
Okay.
And the reason they're using those, and they're good for blood sugar because they absorb sugar. So under ordinary circumstances, they'll help lower blood sugar. And that's why they have the product. However, if somebody has too much bacteria, you're going to also feed the bacteria. You follow?
Yeah.
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at your picture. It's funny because you're just frozen there. There you are. You're like staring at me and you're not even saying anything. Okay. No, I'm just teasing. So yes, the bacteria will be fed and that will cause bloating and proliferation of the bacteria. It'll be a big mess. So you want to make sure if that's the case, if they're noticing bloating, that's a good thing because that's diagnostic of SIBO. You know what I'm saying? That's an indicator that they're dealing with SIBO, which means they're more at risk for leaky gut, more at risk for dirty blood, more at risk for all the other things that happen from that. So that's a good diagnostic tool if they do that product and they feel uncomfortable. So what you want to do is tell them not to do the product, use your I-26 and maybe some essential oils to kill off the bacteria, and then start gradually, slowly with the product.
Okay, and I have one person that they take that exact fibre and they go straight through them.
Well, that's another problem. That's a sign. That's another issue. That's a sign that they're not absorbing water. That there's some kind of inflammation, either at the level of, usually in the large intestine, there's some kind of inflammation. So that's probably somebody who's got a history of digestive issues, I'm guessing, for that to occur. So you're going to want to, first of all, you want to give them the fiber much lower dose and see if that makes a difference, and then work on eliminating foods that are causing inflammation. So do a food diary, notice when they bloat, the whole digestive bit. Notice when they bloat or have gas or constipation or diarrhea or whatever it is, and eliminate those foods. And then then you start with the fiber again slowly, and also the nightly essence slowly. And the I-26 might help them as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, that last one's my husband, Rick. So.
Okay, Rick.
Well,
Rick. I think Rick has a history of digestive issues, as I recall.
I think he has in the past. Yeah.
I think I remember that. Yeah. So you want to work on all that stuff. Okay. Tell Rick I said hello too, by the way.
I will, and he can listen to this. Thank you so much, Ben, and you have a lovely Christmas.
You as well, Karen. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Karen. Now, I think one of Gracie's friends had a question, but I don't know which one it was. Was it, Gracie, can you say?
With the ladies on the call, if you'd like to ask Ben your question, now's a good time to unmute and ask if you're still interested.
Would that be Francis or Francis, did you have a question?
Francis is one. Yep, thank you.
Okay, I will unmute and I'll bring her up too.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, that'd be bad. But
there we go.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it yet, but one of the
Francis, go right ahead.
How are you? Yeah. So I'm having to my question is, I get vertigo every now and then. Where's that?
I get what? What is it?
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
How are you? My problem is I've also got gut issues, and what the lady before me was saying sounds very much like me. I get gassy and what have you. I have been taking the I-26, but that's been out of stock, so I take the microbiome at the moment.
They're different.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because I-26 was out of stock, I thought, well, better.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing. Anyway. And I do get gassy.
Okay, did you understand what I said, how I explained that with bacteria in the okay. So the problem with the I-26 and the ultimate microbiome in a way are opposites.
Oh.
Because they oppose each other. I'll tell you why. The I-26 kills excess bacteria.
Right.
Okay. The ultimate microbiome supports bacteria. So you're going to make the problem a little bit worse with the ultimate microbiome. Because you're going to be
we don't do that.
Of course not. You're going to be feeding those bacteria.
Okay.
You follow? So the ultimate and correct me if I'm wrong, Bronie, I'm just going by my my memory. The ultimate microbiome has a little bit of I-26 in it.
It does.
Okay, and then it also has inulin, and it has mushrooms and a few other things that may exacerbate SIBO or bacterial overgrowth. Now it's a good product in the sense that it has enzymes in it. I forgot what else is in it. There's the I-26 is in it. There's enzymes in it, mushrooms in it. There's a few other things in it. It's a good product, but it may, if you're bloating with it, it may be because the inulin and the probiotics are exacerbating your SIBO. So I would try and get the I-26 by itself first.
Yeah.
When it comes in, and then wean yourself into the ultimate microbiome, which has some I-26, but also has the fiber in there.
Yeah.
To get yourself the fiber right away, with just a small amount of I-26, you may not be getting the benefits, and you may be feeding those bacteria.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Been suffering from vertigo. Every now and then.
So hang on. Say again.
Vertigo.
Oh, you have it, or somebody you know?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a couple.
Yeah, I'm much better now, but
okay, that's good to hear. Now, let me ask you something. Was the vertigo worse when you stood up? Was the vertigo worse? Did the vertigo get worse when you changed your body position,
Yes.
like got out of bed?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So that ordinarily involves your adrenal glands, and it's a sign of adrenal duress. Now, if you have adrenal duress, the chances are good that you've got some biochemistry issues. The adrenal glands don't break down by themselves. So a couple things. First of all, if you have any blood sugar problems, that's going to affect the adrenal glands. And if you look to be like in your 40s, I'm assuming, maybe early 50s, something like that. Well, God bless you. That's awesome. Good for you.
She's in our age group then.
Okay, you're like me. We're old people now. I went to a
old.
I know. I went to a Christmas party a couple weeks ago, and all anybody wanted to talk about was their knee replacements and their hip replacements and their arthritis.
No.
That's all they wanted to talk about. So I'm just kidding. But anyway, so vertigo is usually involves the adrenal glands. So a couple things. First of all, it could involve blood sugar. And if you have any issues with blood sugar and you can't go to the doctor to find that out, you have to look by weight gain, sugar cravings, blood pressure issues, that kind of thing. You want to go on the ketogenic diet and you want to intermittently fast, reduce your calories. That's first of all. The second thing is if you have any female health issues, like if you have any you probably don't have hot flashes anymore, but if you had a history of menopausal issues, that would tell me that, okay, your adrenal glands are burned. It sounds to me, if I had to guess, there's some issues with your adrenal glands, and it said it's getting better. So maybe now that you're supplementing and maybe you change your lifestyle a little bit, it might be getting better.
Yes. So I don't sleep well either.
And that's all adrenal. Absolutely. Yeah. That's all your adrenal glands. Now, do this. Are you standing or sitting now? Stand up. Stand up. Touch your toes. Bend down. Touch your toes. Bend down if you can. Now stand up. Do you feel dizzy? Stand up. Feel dizzy?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's all. Those are. Seriously dizzy? You look like you're serious.
No, okay. I had vertigo, so I'm still a bit.
Okay. Okay. Sit down. Sit down. That's all signs of adrenal duress.
Right.
There's something that's stressing your body out, and usually involves blood sugar issues or it could be food issues.
Yeah.
So
well, I do have gluten and dairy intolerance.
All that. Something is stressing out. Your body's stress glands are working overtime, and you're starting to get into a little adrenal fatigue, they call it.
Right.
So and that's going to also change your blood pressure, and it could work on it could cause your heart to race. You ever have that issues?
I've got
your heart races. Okay.
Yeah, I've had SVT.
Okay, all that is associated with something.
Palpitations. Yeah.
All that's the same. All part of the same syndrome. They call it POTS. Have you heard of POTS? POTS, not POTS. POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. POTS, and that's all adrenal related. Right. So one thing you can do, aside from working on digestive health and blood sugar, because it's hard to work on the adrenal glands themselves, what you want to do is slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. And in fact, you can test this out yourself. So you just touch your toes and then you stood up and you got dizzy, right?
Right.
So next time, I want you to practice this. And go on YouTube and look up some videos because you want to do it correctly. Yeah. Practice slow, deep, rhythmic breathing for a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Longer the better. And then do it again. Touch your toes and then stand up and see what happens. Oh. And what you should notice is that as you're oxygenating, your vertigo should decrease and your heart rate should slow down. You should be able to move around. All of these are signs that you're not getting enough oxygen and your adrenal glands are stressed out.
Right.
Okay. So food and blood sugar on the one hand, practice slow, deep breathing and muscle relaxation, just general parasympathetic strategies.
I've also had a lot of stress.
All that's compounding it.
Few years with and other things. So makes sense. Yeah. I have ringing in the ears.
It's all related. All related. Okay. All related. Francesca, listen. I know we all have stress, and that's just part of life. Yeah. No one gets out of here alive.
No.
No one gets out of here alive. There's nothing worth stressing here, sweetheart. Nothing worth it. So lighten up. We're all ending up at the same place, no matter what. Or hopefully the same place. Anyway.
One thing, they're born to die.
That's right. Yeah. Somebody once told me life is like getting on a ship and having it set sail, knowing it's going to sink in the middle of the ocean. Oh, no. That's how it is. Praise God. but it's still a beautiful life, and we still have Jesus Christ to
enjoy it.
Yes, yes.
And
yes, no matter how bad everything is, if somebody put a gun to your head and said, I'm going to kill you, you'd say no.
No.
You say no, right?
No.
So as bad as it is, we like being here. So just remember
Yeah.
that. All right. Praise God. I got to get to
then just as quickly, with the adrenal, in our Good Herbs line, we've got an adrenal product.
It'll help a little bit.
Help her?
Oh,
a little bit. It's mostly not an herbal situation. The B vitamins will help though. If there might be B vitamins in there, and that's your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. This is a superstar for the adrenal glands.
which one's that one? Oh, I take that.
Throughout the day. Throughout the day.
Oh, well, I take it.
Not all at once. Not at once.
No,
You should tell people.
I take it between morning and before 2.
Sip on water with BTT in it.
Right.
So you have a nice sustained really throughout the day. Yes.
Yep.
All right, I gotta get to my radio show here. God bless everybody.
Well, thank you, Ben, and Merry Christmas. And,
bye, everybody.
Amazing again.
Thank you.
Okay,
Take
so
care.
I ask you all nicely here in Bronie's World to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear, my friends. And when you are taking care of that gut, look, here we are again, looking after the gut, then you too, my friends, will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave. God bless you all. Catch you again tomorrow here in Bronie's World. And thank you, Ben. Let's have a lovely Christmas.